Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. I got a new sign from my oldest daughter a few weeks ago, so I've hung it over the door, and this is now Dad's Workshop, which has always been Dad's Workshop, but now it's officially Dad's Workshop. Alright, a couple of weeks ago I put up a video on a beef feeding stand, and I made mention that I was going to show y'all how to make the feeding buckets. First thing, of course, you're going to need is a bucket, but it's a particular type bucket. Now it doesn't really matter if it's 5 gallon or if it's a 2 gallon, 2.5 gallon, but the first most important thing is your lid has to have a seal. It has to have a gasket in it. If you get the lid without the gasket, it's not going to work. Second most important thing is you see right here, let me make sure I got you in frame. You see the way this bucket's got these little reservoirs in it? Those are very important, because that's where your simple syrup goes to for the bees to access it. Right off the bat, what I like to do, trade buckets here, is you got to make yourself a mark. Now on these little reservoirs you want to get sort of half in the middle of it. What I did is I built myself a little jig. Of course, if anybody's watched my channel very much, y'all know how I am about little jigs. What I did is I set this thing up to shove me a Sharpie in here like so, and I figured out just about exactly where half in the middle of these little troughs were. And that way I've got me a nice smooth little line around on the inside of the bucket. Now something else you want to make sure and do is where these handles go in, you do not want to drill a hole in that part of the in that reservoir where the hole's drilled in it. Don't hit that one. Now then, what you're going to do is you're going to go around here and make marks. Let me show you. And actually it helps to have a flashlight here. Let me see if I can show you. You've got your line made around the inside of the bucket, close to halfway around, close to halfway up and down the ribs of those little reservoirs. Close my pen up here so I don't ink myself. But see how that flashlight, I don't know if you can see that very well, but you see the ribs in there. You'll want to go around and make yourself a dot. Like I said, put you a good size X right here on the one that's where the handle's at. But you want to go around and punch yourself. I need another hand. Punch yourself a hole in each one of these little spots. And as you can tell, I went a little bit low, so I'll actually drill my holes just above this line on mine, so that when I flip the bucket upside down, the hole will be closer to the lid of the bucket. But anyway, let me oh, and the holes are 7/64. Excuse me. You'll have a it's a small little bit. Let me grab that and show it to you as well. It's a small little fella, not very big at all. 7/64 bit. I actually was able to get my hands on a commercial one of these buckets at one time a year or so ago, one that you pay $20 for. And anyway, I took it out to my truck and I had my bits in there, and I just slipped it around until I found the one that went in the hole perfectly. So they use a 7/64 bit for that hole, and like I say, they charge $20 for these at most beekeeping places. You can order them online. If I've got a local guy here that lives about 30 miles from me that sells this stuff, and he sells the bucket and the lid for 20 bucks, and you can go to Lowe's, get this bucket and the lid with the gasket on it for, I'm pretty sure it was less than $5. It may have been a little over $5. I can't remember now. I bought these a few weeks ago. But let me knock the holes in these things. I'll come back and let you take a look at that, and then we'll cut in some video of putting this on the feeding stand. So back in just a second. All right, guys. Here's the finished product. Got the holes drilled all the way around it. Well, you can see that, but they're in there, and of course, you know, just in case anybody's curious, you do not put the holes all the way through to the outside. It's to make yourself a little puddle right in there for the bees to feast on. Now, when you go to set these things up, last year I had trouble with them. I actually hated them. I set them up on the ground, and setting them up on the ground is not a good idea. Ants get to them. When the ants cover them up, the bees don't even care nothing about them. And you want to set them up just as level as possible. So, you know, you might want to take you a little torpedo level out there. You know, you wouldn't need nothing quite this extreme, but when you set it up, you want that thing in the bubble. You know, little pocket torpedo level, and a little stand like I have is perfect. Now, like I say, it'll sit here. It'll spill out some to begin with. When you flip it upside down, don't freak out over it. It's got to pull that vacuum, much like a chicken water room. If it don't pull that vacuum, you know, and that's why the seal's so important around here, so that we'll pull that vacuum down. You'll notice the bottom of the bucket suck down, and as they get older, you're liable to get a little hairline crack in this thing, and it start weeping. That's why on my stands I set up the gravel, the turkey roasting pans with the gravel in it, so anything that comes out goes down there and the bees can still access it. So anyway, I'll cut in some shots of me putting my buckets on the stand, and a little short clip of the bees enjoying the tiki bar. So you guys take it easy. Jason, out.